Now let's try to understand some other stuff, that is the risk tolerance. So we have covered the risk tolerance of the institutional investors earlier. Now in risk tolerance, what you have is, you will find in your practice, when you are doing practice, you will find that there are some people who are capable of taking, who are like willing to take a lot of risk. Okay, and then there are some people who are not willing to take risk. Okay, this is being exhibited because of the investors attitude. It is because of their belief towards the investment. It is also because of their personality type. Okay, so some people are want to take risk. Okay, some people, okay, they have like that bent of mind, they want to take risk. Some people are happy with lower risk investment. Okay, so that is what you have to identify. That is, you have to identify what is the willingness of the client to take risk. Okay, some clients are willing to take a lot of risk, some clients are not willing to take risk. Okay, now please note that you will see some people who do not have capacity, but they are saying that they are willing to take risk. Okay, so you have to also understand, okay, a person is trying, is willing to take risk. So let's think about a person who is 70 years old and is living on pension, and his portfolio returns are meeting his day-to-day expenditure, and this guy says to you that I want to take a lot of risk and I want to invest in hedge funds, I want to invest in futures and options. Okay, this person does not have the ability to take risk. Okay, the willingness does not help, right? Because he may be willing, and if you invest his funds accordingly, okay, you might, like that person will give you a lot of scolding later, because what is happening is the chances of losing money is very high in such type of product. So you have also to identify what is the ability of that person. Okay, whether there is ability of that person to take risk. Okay, so what you have to understand is, what are the financial circumstances, what are the personal circumstances of the investor. Okay, so some people are like phantom, they will say that okay, we want to take risk, but they do not have that ability, they do not have the capacity to take risk. So what we say is, it depends on the personal and the financial circumstances. Typically, if that person 70-year-old, okay, if that was a pensioner and he had not a good amount of wealth, okay, he cannot take risk. But think about a person who has $100 million worth of portfolio. Okay, he is also 70 years old. Okay, now if that person tells you that he want to invest in futures and options, which are risky instrument, okay, you can invest for him. Why? Because he has a lot of wealth. Okay, even if the wealth decreases slightly, he will not have to worry. Okay, he will worry, but what is happening, like you can like over a long period of time you can get his money back, right? So what we say is, like, wealthy investors have high ability to take the risk. Okay, people done who have been entrepreneur, who have started their own business, okay, who have taken risk in their life, they have high ability. Okay, contrast this with people like who are well educated, but they have been in their job throughout their life. Okay, they have not taken risk of their own money. Okay, so what we say is, like, they have not risked their own money. Okay, so that means they have not started their own business. What they have done is, they have done investment in the market. Okay, typically those type of investors, the risk profile is slightly lower. But please note that we are giving a generalistic assumption. There are some people who have been in jobs, but they still, the risk appetite is very high. Okay, then as we said that earlier, that long investment horizon typically implies high ability to take the risk. If you have a horizon of 20-30 years, you can take a higher risk, because what happens is, in the long period, the stock prices, the equity prices, okay, will give a good handsome return. Okay, now investors who need to meet the current income requirement, if you have current income need, if you have liquidity need, you have lower ability to take risk. Even you have a high willingness, but you don't have ability to take the risk. So you have to understand the ability requirement, ability of the client. Okay, now what you have to do is, you have to map the ability and the willingness. So what we have is, you have to map the ability and the willingness. So some people, as I've said, that they have the ability to take risk. You will find that there are many people like this. Let's take an example of a 70-year-old person who has 100 million net worth. He has the ability, but he says that no, I do not want to take risks. So that $100 million, I want to ensure that before I die, I keep this $100 million for my children, or I want to create a trust for the upliftment of poor. Okay, so he might not be willing to take risk. Okay, so whenever you are meeting this kind of situation, okay, one thing is like, if you think that the client is becoming unrealistic, he is becoming too much conservative, you advise him. You advise that, okay, you have a good capability, only thing is willingness is lesser, okay, you can take more risk. Okay, if the client understands, then it is good. However, if the client becomes, if the client says that no, I do not want to take risk, respect the client. Okay, respect his position, and then you should create the portfolio accordingly. That means you should create portfolio in low risk instrument. Okay, now take the reverse case where we have a 70-year-old person, but he has, let's say, only $50,000 of net worth. Okay, and he is using that to meet his current day-to-day expenditure. Okay, and he says that yes, I want to take a lot of risk. Okay, now what you have to say is like, you have to advise him that your ability is not there. Okay, if I invest 50,000 in a risky instrument, okay, in a 1 year you can get out of 50,000, it can become $20,000. Okay, that is too less amount to meet your day-to-day need. Okay, so you, rather than that, we should invest in less risky, and we should get promise return, we should get low variability return. So you should advise them. Okay, now if that person is not willing to take your advice, okay, again over here you will not go with the client. Okay, you will go with what his ability is. So what we say is, when ability is more, willingness is less. Okay, client is adamant on saying that he doesn't want to take risk, you will respect his willingness. You will say that yes, we will invest in lower risky instrument. Okay, however, if the client has a lot of willingness but he does not have the ability, then we should respect ability. We will not go with the client and say that you are willing, we will invest in risky instrument. No, you are for the benefit of client. Okay, so that is what you have to do. Okay, sometimes they have willingness but not the ability, sometimes they have the ability but not the willingness. So you have to advise the client. Okay, ensure the willingness and ability are compatible. Okay, and once you have got the go ahead, then you have to create a optimal portfolio considering the risk and return for the client. Okay, any question?